So tonight, thank you for coming. Thank you for giving up your Wednesday evenings. I hope that you're going to learn something. I obviously had a good response when I put this video on the group. I think everyone wanted to hear a bit more about this. It's something I speak about quite a lot with the people I do one-to-ones with. And I know Amber and Lucy have probably chatted with their one-to-ones as well about stuff like this. It is more than just eating to lose weight. I am going to touch on weight loss, but it's right at the end. This is literally about fueling your life, fueling your performance. I know there's a lot in this room who do other things aside from benchmark, which is amazing. But that requires fueling, and that's what food is, without spoiling it too much. So hopefully you'll walk away with a bit more knowledge on the subject, a bit more knowledge for yourself, how to do your plate, things like that. I promise I'm not even gonna mention calories, apart from to say we're not talking about calories. We're not talking about weighing your food. We're not talking about weighing macros and getting protein and weighing that on the scales. We're not talking about any of that. That's out there. That's out there too much in especially with influencers. It's confusing people. This is literally back to basics, which is what benchmark is about anyway. Just do the basics well, and you'll do well. So I always start with this, who I am, and it's not to show me credentials off. It's to show you where this information is coming from, especially when I get to the next slide, which is the scope of practice. So obviously, if you don't know me, there's a couple in this room who are new, who don't know me. My name's Adam. I manage this place as well, but I'm an accredited strength and conditioning coach. I've got a degree in performance coaching. I've got a master's degree in strength and conditioning, and I've got probably over 20 years experience now working with general population. It's all on there: runners, team sports athletes, professional footballers, people looking for injury rehabilitation and performance, and people looking to improve performance. So what does that mean? Well, I'm not a dietitian, yeah? I'm not a registered nutritionalist, and I'm not a sports nutritionalist, okay? That's really important because, again, in this day and age, especially the people on Instagram and on TikTok and all of that, they're trying to be all things to all people because they're too scared to say, I can't answer that question, go and speak to a professional in an area. So I'm telling you now, I'm not any of these things. You've just seen my credentials. My nutrition stuff comes from human performance because that's my background. It's improving human performance. Nutrition's always formed part of that because nutrition influences recovery, adaptation, and body composition, and all of that falls into human performance. So if anyone walks away from here with questions on should I start taking B12 or I'm low in iron, what should I do? That's all stuff for a registered nutritionalist, a dietitian, a doctor, that kind of stuff. So again, this is all what to eat to improve performance, okay? So introduction, it is true or false, and there's a lot of true or false in this. I'm not looking for you guys to actually put your hands up, try and answer questions, okay? I know it's awkward, and there's a lot of people who don't want to do stuff like that, but answer these questions in your head, okay? Because you might look at that, and I'll ask you now, to true or false, to feel better, recover better, and perform better, you need to eat perfectly, yeah? So answer that question in your head. Is that true or is that false? And we're going to do that all the way through this. And hopefully you're going to answer wrong in your head so I can teach you something. If you answer right, I'll dig into why you're right anyway, okay? So it's false. We're eating, you don't have to eat perfectly all the time, okay? The goal is never perfection. The goal is always understanding. A lot of people I do one-to-ones with, I get used to do food diaries, I get used to take pictures of your food, and that's all for you to understand, for you to be aware. The goal is just make better decisions more often. That's literally the goal with performance, okay? Make better decisions more often. You're not trying to be perfect all the time, just make better decisions more often. Let me get my notes. So, why do you train? Yeah, you don't have to answer, I'll answer for you. I know a lot of people in this room some of these answers are why you train. Fat loss, you come to benchmark to lose fat. You come to benchmark to gain muscle. You come to benchmark to better your health. You come to benchmark to get more energy. You come to benchmark because you want to run a 10K. You come to benchmark because you want to perform better in a sport, be that competitively or not competitively. And you come to benchmark just to feel good. Yeah? Loads of different goals there, but the underlying thing is the same body. Yeah? It's biology. So everything that I'm coming with today it doesn't matter your goal. We're all the same body, we're all the same people, and we've got the same need for fuel and recovery. We don't have a need for the same fuel and recovery. So those two things are different. We've all got the same need for fuel and recovery, but we don't have the need for the same fuel and recovery. Again, something I hear a lot, because I'm not on socials, but something I hear a lot are just blanket numbers getting put out there. You've got to eat 150 grams of protein. You've got to do 1,500 calories. They're just blanket numbers that don't take into account anything that we're going to talk about tonight. So we've all got a need for fuel and recovery, but it is not the same as everyone. Yeah? So section 1, we get into fuel. Yeah? True or false? Food is just calories. Where is it? Food is just calories. Should have been a big false there, but it's not. False. Food is not just calories. Yeah? Imagine, this is how I want us to do it tonight. Imagine you're running a business, and some of you do. Some of you have your own businesses. You've got 5 staff members in that business. You've got protein, and their job is to build and repair. You've got fuel foods. Now, I've been purposeful in not calling this carbohydrates, okay? Because both of these are carbohydrates. Fruit and veg are still carbs, okay? But we got 2 different types, so I've been purposeful in that. So we're calling them fuel foods, okay? Energy and performance. We got fruit and veg. That's another one. Their job is health and function. We got another team member, healthy fats. Their job is support and protect. And we got the 5th staff member, water. And their job is to transport and regulate. So we've got 5 different staff members. If one of those staff members don't turn up for work, the business will still run. It just ain't going to run as optimal as it would if all 5 were turning up. So if you're cutting out fat, if you're not drinking enough water, if you're going low on your protein, you're still going to operate like a business would. It's just not going to be as good as if everyone turned up to work. Yeah? And you're nodding and you're thinking, and a lot of this will be like, oh yeah, I know that. Good. If people do know this, good. I'm going to help you later on to try and actually implement it as well. So the message is food isn't about changing how you look. It's about supporting how you live. That is how everyone should view food. Yeah. We live in a diet culture. The term diet's been co-opted to mean I'm trying to lose fat, I'm trying to lose weight. But we can take the word diet and just apply it to our way of eating. You know, the Mediterranean diet, the dietary requirements of a certain animal. Like it's just a word. But you hear diet, people hear diet and they think, oh, you're on a diet. But it's not. Food isn't just about restriction. Food should be about supporting how you live. So protein. This is the first of the 5. First of the 5 employees, yeah, and probably the most well known, probably the most talked about. You know, it's everywhere at the minute. Protein. They do protein beer. It's everywhere, isn't it? Like, true or false? Protein is only important if you want to build muscle. False. Protein are a building team, so they help muscle recovery after exercise. Most people know that. Repairs muscle tissue, similar job to above. Maintains muscle mass. So if anyone's taking any GLP-1 supplements, things like that, yeah, it's massive to keep your protein high to maintain muscle mass, or any kind of calorie restriction. It's massive to keep your protein high to maintain muscle mass. It's massive for anyone, and it supports healthy aging. And the big one it keeps you fuller for longer. So I think this is a massive, underspoken about, it's not the right word, but it's not spoken about enough, that protein keeps you full for longer. So an example, before we skip over to the next bit, who's ever woke up at 7 a.m., had cereal, or had toast, or had like a croissant, yeah, and then you're hungry again by 10. Yeah, you're all nodding, so a lot of you are nodding. How much protein was actually in that meal? Yeah, maybe a bit in the milk if you've had cereal, probably none with the croissant, or, none with the toast, or tiny bits, but again, not enough to keep you full. Yeah, so it's massive for that, and especially if you are sort of going for body composition goals, we don't want to be hungry by 10 a.m. We don't want to be starving by 11 when you're reaching for the chocolate and stuff. So one of protein's massive jobs is keeping you fuller for longer. So protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It's anyone who wants to recover well and stay fuller for longer. Again, like massive one, just stay fuller for longer. That's what protein does. It's not a magic thing. Like I said, it's in beer. In a minute, they're doing protein beer. They're doing protein yogurts. We've all seen them. Protein everything. They're going to do protein apples soon. I guarantee it. Someone will. But it's everywhere. But that's all it is. That's what it does. That's the jobs. That's its job. Recover. It helps us recover after training and exercise. It helps recover after sport as well, not just lifting weights. Yeah. So if you play paddle, if you go walking, things like that, it helps us recover after that. It's not just for weightlifters. Yeah. Everyone should be eating enough protein. And again, I'm not going into grams. We're not talking about grams. We're using hand measurements tonight, okay? So protein foods, chicken, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, lean mince, tofu, protein powder. There are others, but they're just, that's what protein is. Again, if anybody didn't know that, they're all protein sources, okay? Protein guidelines per meal, 1 to 3 palms, per meal. 1 to 3 palms. I ain't got 3 hands, but you know what I mean. 1 to 3 palms. That's a starting point, though. It's not the rule. None of this is you must do this. It's nutrition, just like training, is so nuanced. It's so contextual. It's a starting point. It's not the rule. Protein requirements increase as the demands increase. Okay. Do more, eat more. So I've got an example. We'll just say person A. Yeah. They walk and they just live generally. Yeah. They don't lift weights. They just do a bit of walking. They don't lift weights. They don't play sports, things like that. Yeah. And you got person B. They come to benchmark 3 times a week. They run and they play paddle. Do both people require the same protein requirement? No. One's probably is, person A is probably going to go with 1 palm. Person B is probably going to go with more protein per meal because they do so much in a day. The more we do, the more protein we've got to eat. Yeah? Because the more we're breaking down the muscle tissue, the more we break down the muscle tissue, the more we've got to build it up. And that's what protein does. Different demand, different recovery requirement, but remember, go right back to the start, same body, same person, just a different requirement. Then we go into fuel foods. True or false, carbs make you fat. Now, carbs have been demonized for so long. False. Fuel foods provide energy for training, sport, and performance. They're the fuel delivery team in our example of the staff. Yeah, they're the fuel delivery team. Carbs are just fuel. That's all they are. Carbohydrates are just fuel. They're our body's preferred fuel source. Okay, we've evolved with a Western diet to take most of our energy from carbohydrate sources. Okay, so people that want to go low carb are depleting energy stores. Okay. Now, yes, it's true. You can get energy from fat, but again, most people I speak to that go low carb also do low fat. So where's the energy coming from? Because protein is not an energy source. You've just seen that. So where's the energy coming from? Carbs, don't be scared of them. They're an energy source. And I've been specific, like I said, in splitting up the fuel foods. I've been purposeful, in splitting up into the two sources. So fuel foods, rice, pasta, potatoes, oats, bread, everything that people want to ignore, want to try and, after that list, people don't eat when they're on a diet, do they? But you need it. So rice, pasta, potatoes, oats, bread, wraps, bagels, cereal, and fruit. Yeah, I mentioned before about having cereal for breakfast, about it not keeping you full. It doesn't, but it's still required. It's still an energy source. It's still an okay breakfast. You just need a protein source with it. That's all. Consumption, fuel guidelines. So what did we have? Palms, didn't we, for protein? So we're doing cupped hands for carbs, okay? 1 to 3 cupped hands. That's the rule, okay? But it's not a rule. It's the starting point. So 1 to 3 cupped hands. And again, we go down into the person A, person B reflection. Yeah. Before I get onto this, actually, I have made a note to say, when we get onto fruit and veg later, I did say before that they are also carbs. They are, but they do so much more. They provide a lot different things. Yeah. So, like a banana, for example, it is a carbohydrate source, yes, but it also provides fiber, vitamins, minerals. Yeah, probably a lot more than pasta does. But again, I don't want to confuse the matter, but we will get onto fruit and veg later. And spoiler alert, I'm telling you to eat it. So I'm not telling you to not eat anything here. This is all, there's no restriction in this. This is all inclusion. Yeah. So person A, person B. Person A, 3 benchmark sessions, 5,000 steps a day with a sedentary job. Okay. Person B, 3 benchmark sessions, training for the Stockport 10K, and they play paddle twice a week. Did they need the same amount of carbs? No. Why? Well, because person B is expending a hell of a lot more energy on a day-to-day basis than person A. So it just goes to say, that person B will need a lot more than person A. So again, look onto your own diet. Ignore what social media says. Ignore what your mates say. Look at your own life. Look at your own energy requirements. If you're training 3 times a week, which most of you do, 3 times here, a lot of you run, a lot of you play other sports, a lot of you do other things. If you're hardly eating any carbs, then when we get later onto symptoms, I reckon you'll be ticking a few of them boxes. Yeah. So the message, again, do more, eat more. The greater demand, the greater the need for fuel foods. So the more we do, the more we need to eat. Yeah. Get on a bit of feedback. So your body doesn't say, I'd like another 50 grams of carbs. Yeah. It doesn't tell you the amount it needs. It doesn't tell it. What it will do is it will ask for, it will say things like, oh, you will feel, the feedback of, in fact, before I tell you, but before I say what it'll say is, we got some runners in the room, haven't we? I will ask for a show of hands here. We got a couple of runners, yeah? A couple of runners, yeah? I know who you are, yeah? Have we got any, you all lift weights? Yes, hands up, you all lift weights, yeah? See if your arms actually work, yeah? Good, right. Weightlifters and runners, have you ever hit a point in the run, first with the run, where your brain is saying, yeah, I can finish that. Your lungs are saying, yeah, I can finish that. But your legs are going, you ain't finishing that. Yeah? Lifting weights. Have you ever come in here? You normally train at 6 p.m., 6:15, whatever time we train, 6:30, that's the one. You come in here at 6:15 a.m. and you are so much weaker. Yeah? You used to deadlift 80 kilo when you're struggling with 60. Yeah? Or you normally train at 6:30 at night, and it is 6:30 at night again, but for some reason, you're feeling a lot weaker. Yeah? We've got either of those two things. Have you experienced them? Let me see your hands. Yeah, let me see your hands. Right, good. Because everyone knows, everyone can see it then. Other people have experienced it, ain't just you. yeah. And for yous at the front, the whole of they all put their hands up, yeah. So everyone has felt that. That is this, yeah. Your body don't speak English to you; it speaks symptoms. So when you leg it in a run, when you're feeling weak in the gym, yes, there can be other things. It might not be food. There's a high chance it is. And again, it's an awareness thing. Have you eaten enough carbs that day? Have you, to the runners, have you had enough pre-run carbs? Have you had enough carbs in the day in general? Yeah. I went for a run. I did one in the training for the half marathon, and the training plan was 16K, I think. And I did a run that I'd not used. I did a route that I'd not used it done. I planned my routes, and I thought I'll do this one into town. So I live in Droylsden in Tameside. So the run into town was like just straight run into town, through town, round the back, and then like, so it was a nice big loop. I don't like doing them. I don't know about you lot, but I don't like doing them runs where it's just to point A and back. Yeah, so I like a route. So I planned this route. I'm off. Got to like 14K, and my legs just goners. And from 14K to 15K, the runners in the room, if you wear watches, have you ever you're on your run and you're like, and you 100 meters, 200 meters, fucking hell, this is going like, and it's slow going, and you're checking, have I done it yet? Have I done it yet? Have I done it yet? And you never check your watch, but am I done it yet? Am I done it yet? That was what I was like. And I got to 15K and I tapped out because I was writing in my mum's house. So I was writing in my mum's house in Droylsden, and I thought, I'm going to tap out here, I'm going to knock on and see if my dad will take me home. It's like literally a kilometre, but my legs were that gone. And when I got back, I sat down and I thought, why? Because I was kicking myself. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this run, my head's gone. I just looked at my day and I'm like, I'd eaten a bowl of Alpen and a piece of white bread toasted. That's literally all I'd had. And I'd gone out for this 16K. So like, where's the carb source? That was gone. Like that was gone after the first 5K. That's been used, that's gone. So I'm running on fumes. So again, when you're out running, when you're playing paddle, when you're in here and you're knackered, don't beat yourself up. Just be aware, what have you eaten? What fuel sources have you chosen? And, was that the right choice? If it wasn't, next time, make a different choice. That's all it has to be. So the greater demand, the more we need. Yeah, the more we need for fuel. So getting into fats. Healthy fats. True or false, eating fat makes you fat? By the way, the answer isn't false to every question. Yeah, I'm just saying, it has felt like that, but yeah, spoiler, no. Healthy fats are the maintenance team, okay? Now, fats are really demonized. I think carbs are really demonized, but fats are so demonized because it literally says it's fats in it. So we see fats, the word fats, and we think fats make me fat because it is the word fat. Yeah. No, fats don't. Your body's maintenance team. You really need fats. You really need fats. They help hormone regulation, brain health, cell health, vitamin absorption, long-term health. Yeah, you want to live longer? Eat your fats. We all know the Mediterranean diet. Everyone said that. Yeah, there's a reason why it's one of the most studied diets in the world. There's a reason why it's one of the best ways of eating in the world, because it includes a lot of healthy fats. And healthy fats keep you younger for longer. And like I said, hormone regulation, brain health, cell health, everything. Yeah. Nuts, seeds, nut butters, and oils. Fats, this part, where I'm saying one thumb-sized portion, when we're talking about the rules and stuff, that doesn't apply to oily fish and avocado, yeah? You don't have to eat that much of a mackerel, yeah? So it only applies to nuts, seeds, nut butters, and oils, okay? I've had conversations with people in this room about peanut butter. I weren't going to call you out. I weren't even going to call you out. I wasn't even going to call you out. But yeah, all right. Well, you've outed yourself, Mel, haven't you? You've outed yourself. But so
Don't do it anymore. I've got to do it.
there you go. But is that like peanut butter is like it is a fat source and it is so easy to just go like bam and scrape it on. Yeah. But again, we're looking at small oils, olive oil in the pan, just absolute whacking it away. Just keep going and be careful with it is all I'm saying. Okay. Oily fish and avocados, bit different. Okay. Still a fat source, still a very good fat source, still going to give us all the stuff that I said, so don't not eat it, yeah? Only if you obviously don't like it, don't eat it, but,
Adam, I've got a question.
Go on.
Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
Zero fat or full fat?
Whatever you like.
What question?
Zero fat's got a little bit more sugar, usually, but again, it's not bad for you. It's just whichever one you prefer. Yeah, zero fat's lower in calories, slightly higher in protein. But me personally, I go for the 5% because it's got a bit more of a texture to it than the 0%. Yeah, but I'll have a bowl of yogurt. So if I was going to go with the full fat Greek yogurt, I'd probably stick to a smaller amount. Whereas if I'm going for a lower calorie option, I'll stick to it. But I will still always try and pick. It's a good question, but I would still always try and pick out the whole food option as well, rather than some like yogurt is processed anyway. But I mean, like one of them protein yogurts and stuff, they play havoc on my gut. Them, so just plain, yeah. I go with whatever you like, yeah, whatever you like. And that is the theme of tonight. It's me not telling you. You have to eat this or you shouldn't eat that. If it falls within your diet, they're all good. 0%, 5%, 10% full fat. Probably full fat is going to give you more health benefits. But again, there's a trade-off in terms of, yeah. So, but good question. But yeah, I'd go with nuts, seeds, nut butters, oils. Nuts are dead easy to overkill. Seeds, like if we go back to that yogurt bowl and you go in yogurt, handful of seeds, handful of chia seeds, handful of pumpkin seeds, handful of sunflower seeds, then you're chucking nuts on there as well. That's a lot of fat sources going into that yogurt bowl as well. So just be really mindful of that when you are doing stuff like that. I have got a yogurt bowl imaged later and how I've linked it to the guidelines. So we'll have a look at that in a bit. But like I said, fats, they're your maintenance team, we need them. Fruit and veg, yeah, spoiler, we need them. Yeah. True or false, fruit contains too much sugar to be healthy. Bollocks. People demonize it online and stuff like that. Again, I'm not going down the diabetes route here. I'm not a registered nutrition, nothing like that. We're not talking general health here. People in good health. No, there isn't too much sugar for it to be healthy. Yeah. Because fruit and veg also contain fiber. They also contain vitamins, minerals, gut health support, immune system support. Why would I not eat all that good stuff? Yeah. If you are worried about the sugar content, eat more veg. Yeah. But if we're going to put fruit and veg together, eat more veg then, rather than if you don't go mad on the fruit, that's fine, eat more veg. But just eat the rainbow. I think in this country, what is it, 5? Yeah, 5. I'm sure, this might be outdated now, but I'm sure Japan is 11. Places like that. So we're massively like under in terms of like and they also, I think in Japan it's also the colours, like obviously mix the colours up and stuff. They also go into that. Like we just say 5 fruit and veg, don't we? But over there, I'm sure it's like they go in and see certain colours of the fruit and eat the rainbow kind of thing and all of that's brilliant advice.
What's the difference with dried fruit?
Loads, like just basically. You're taking all the water out of it and you're just leaving the sugar. So again, dead easy to overeat. It's like really easy. Like if you dry, like what's a thing? Dates. Let's go dates. Yeah. If you go dates, there I could easily do 10 dates. Like probably straight off the bat, just scran them. But yeah, loads of nothing but they are pure sugar, good for you, still contain lots of fiber, lots of good stuff, very easy to overeat. And if we overeat anything, it becomes too much, doesn't it? So yeah, again, really good. Chuck them in your yogurt bowl. Just be careful. That's all. Just be mindful of how much is going in there. Be aware. Think of the fruit and veg of the support staff in our little in our example. They're the support staff. They keep everything running behind the scenes. Aim for variety across the week. 1 or 2 fists per meal. Yeah, for your fruit and veg. Load up on that. Go mad with it. If you like it, go mental. Yeah. But that's probably the biggest one. Just aim for a variety across the week. I'm really bad with veg. I'm not a big fan of it. So I've got to try. Just again, I eat what I like, but I just make an effort to try as much as I can and try and find more that I actually like. But yeah, try and eat as much as you can across the week. You don't become healthy from eating broccoli once. Yeah. I've got to tell myself that sometimes. Like, I've had broccoli. Yeah, I'm all right now. I'm going to live forever. You become healthier because you consistently eat foods that support health, yeah, and function. Okay? So all of this is great. If you walk away tomorrow and you message me on Trainer Eyes, or you tell me in the gym, I've just done this, I've done our meal preps, I'm going to do all this. Sound. Talk to me in a month. Are you still doing it in a month? Are you doing it consistently? Because that's what, again, not perfection, and consistency isn't every day. Yeah? It's not perfect every day. Consistency looks like that as long as it's in a long term. Yeah. If it looks like and then it's down here for a month, and then it's up here for 2 days, and then down here for a month, that's not consistency. We can have consistency. Usually just looks like this. Yeah. We have good days, we have bad days. Good days, bad days. If we make the better decisions more often, we're winning. Water, biggie. Everyone thinks they drink enough, but again, be aware of it, and you might find that you don't. I definitely don't. I think I do, but again, I'm not consistent with it. Hydration affects performance. True or false? First one. True. First one. True. It does. I used to. So when I used to work with the girls' footy team, I did a little experiment with them, because again I was trying to get them to drink more water. I did a little experiment, and I said to a few of them, just jump on the scales, because we had scales at the ground. I said, just jump on the scales before the game. So a couple of them jumped on the scales. Didn't have to tell me the weight or anything. Just wanted them to see it. Then he played 90 minutes, and then I was like, right, just jump on the scales again. He jumped on the scales again. Some of them were like 3-4 pound lighter. I was like, right, what's that? It's water. Now, a kilo is about a litre. Yeah? So if you lose a kilo or lose 2 kilo, that's it after a run. If you lost a kilo after a run, it's like a litre of water, it's gone. So you need to drink your normal amount of water, which is 2 to 3 litres a day, plus whatever we use when we're exercising, when we're running, when we're walking. Now I'll ask the question again to you to think about, do you drink enough water? Yeah, that's why I said I definitely don't. I might hit 2 litres a day, but I might hit 2 litres a day most days, including the days that I go and do a 10K, including the days that I'll go to the gym. But really, I should have done more water on them days. Yeah. So again, fill a 500 litre bottle of water up and drink that in here, and don't include that in your daily. Drink your 2 litres or your 2 to 3 litres, and have a little special bottle that's just for benchmark, that you just drink when you're training, or you drink after you run and stuff like that. Then, because again, like if we do more, we got to drink more. Yeah. Possible messages from your body: headaches, brain fog, fatigue, poor performance. Again, I know there's a lot of reasons for them. Yeah, but just from a nutritional point of view, if you're getting headaches a lot, brain fog, you're knackered, you're not performing as well as you normally do, you're a bit weaker, and you think, no, I've had enough carbs today, I don't usually do. Cool, you check the carbs, what's the water looking like? Actually, yeah, I've not drank hardly anything today. Cool, that might explain it then. Yeah, so water is really important. Transports nutrients, it regulates temperature, supports concentration, supports recovery, supports performance. Really important, yeah? Drink your water. The InBody, that horrible machine in there. Hydration affects the InBody results, true or false? True. Where's Lucy? What was it? What was yours?
I lost.
Lucy put one on our group the other day because I did a training session for the team the other week, and I was telling her about the InBody and stuff like that, and how hydration like really affects it and stuff, and yeah. Come on, Luce, we know you.
I had a really heavy weekend. I was really dehydrated. I got on it and take that. Hold on. Got it? Nope. I just got it off the group. That one, wasn't it? I had lost 2 kilograms of muscle and I'd put on nearly a percent of body fat. Okay, so that was on the Monday. And then rehydrated myself loads, did it again, and I'd actually only lost 400 grams of muscle, and I'd lost, instead of putting on, I'd lost 500 grams of 0.5% body fat. So the difference was that I put on body fat percentage, but I'd actually lost it, and I'd lost muscle, but I'd only lost a tiny bit of muscle, and it was all to do with the water.
So because Lucy was dehydrated, it looked like she'd lost 600 gram more muscle, and it looks like you put on fat when you'd actually lost it. So again, hydration massively influences the body fat reading. Yeah. So our advice is hydrate well in the days running up to your InBody. Yeah. Minimize your alcohol and prioritize your sleep. So if you're gonna have a heavy weekend and you're gonna do your InBody Monday morning, don't do it. Yeah. On the day, drink loads of water and do it before you train. We always tell you that anyway, but loads of water. Yeah. So for you lot in the room now,
Drink loads of water.
drink loads of water. So I've actually.
Bought you a bloody water bottle and everything.
I know you have. I know. See. So drink loads of water. Yeah, especially before you're InBody. So the team, benchmark team. Protein, the builders. They build and repair 1 to 3 palm-sized portions a day. Yeah. Fuel foods, fuel delivery team. Energy and performance, 1 to 3 cupped hand portions a meal. Sorry, not a day, a meal. Sports staff at the fruit and veg. Health and function, 1 to 2 fist-sized portions a meal. Healthy fats, the maintenance team. Support and protect, 1 thumb-sized portion. And water, the logistics team. Transport and regulate, 2 to 3 litres a day. That's your team. Like I said at the start, you will still operate. Your business will still run without 1 or even 2 of them team members. It just won't run as well as it would do if everyone turned up to work. So what happens when someone doesn't turn up for work? Well, if protein isn't here, we might have poor recovery. Yeah? You might be more sore for longer. You might increase the risk of injury, that kind of stuff. If fuel foods aren't here, you're going to have flat sessions, you're going to have heavy legs, yeah, when you're running. Fruit and veg aren't here, your health and functions are going to suffer. If your healthy fats aren't here, your systems aren't going to run as well as they should, talking hormones, things like that, yeah? And if you're not hydrated enough, everything becomes less efficient. So if any of them are happening, if you're feeling flat, if you're feeling heavy, if your hormones are a bit up the wall in a minute, everything becomes less efficient, if things are harder, things like that. Yes, I know there's other reasons for it. I keep saying this, but have a look at your nutrition. Don't just blame it on other things. Just have a look at the nutrition first. It's the easiest. It's the easiest fix. Just have a look at that first. And if you've ticked all of them boxes, then it might be something else. But just tick them boxes first. Just go to that first. That'll be we can have a look at that first. So, feedback. True or false? Time me on. Got enough. What time? Sorry, true or false? If you exercise, then feeling tired all the time is normal. No, false. That's your body giving you feedback. Yeah? Listening to it may give you a clue that something is missing. Constant hunger, you might need more protein, you might need more fiber, you might need more fuel. Afternoon crash, poor sleep, as in sleep quality, poor hydration, underfueling from the carb sources. So if you crash in the afternoon, we're looking at sleep, we're looking at hydration, we're looking at underfueling. If you're flat in training or running, could be a fuel issue. So we're talking the carb sources that we were looking at before. Could be a recovery issue. Could be a hydration issue. If you've got brain fog, could be sleep, could be hydration, could be fuel, could be stress, which is also tied into recovery. Always sore, could be recovery, could be sleep, could be fuel, could be protein. Not getting enough of that. Always sore. Muscles aren't getting repaired as best as they should. So you're always sore because you're always struggling. All of that is your body telling you it wants to change something. It's just requesting that something's not right here. You are not running as optimally as you could be. Have a look. You won't find the answer looking at someone else's diet. Yeah? Look at your own diet. Talk to us. Talk to other people, of course, but everything is individual. Yeah? So look at your own stuff and listen to your own body. It is giving you feedback. We're not great at listening to it. I'm definitely not sometimes. All of them, by the way, like I said, they're not failures. Yeah? They're not failing. You aren't failing. They're just your body's telling you something. Just listen to it. They're just messages. Recovery. This is where half of you leave the room now because we start talking about caffeine and booze. See you later, Luce. So, true or false, coffee gives you energy? False. Coffee's a stimulant. It doesn't fill the tank. Carbs are the energy. Yeah, coffee don't give you energy. Does anyone know this is? And if you do, I'd be very interested. But shake your heads if you don't. Does anyone know like where the peak time that caffeine kicks in after drinking a cup of coffee, or even the half-life of caffeine? No. 30 to 60 minutes after consumption. So if you nail an espresso at 6 a.m. thinking that coffee is going to get you through the session, it's not going to peak till 30 to 60 minutes after you neck it. So it's probably peaking in the finisher, which might be the time when you need it, but it also might peak when you're driving home, like, you know what I mean? So. And the half-life, this is really interesting, and this made me stop and really take stock of my own, because for the OGs in the room, how bad my caffeine addiction was, like, in a long time ago. Yeah, I'd nail, like, Luce, how many coffees? Like, six during so 6 from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'd have 6 espressos, like, I know. Yeah, I know. And I'd drink coffee. I'd come in and I'd get a flat white at 4:30. Like, and I'd be like, no, it's right. I sleep fine. Yeah, I did. I fell asleep fine, but I wasn't sleeping fine. And I didn't know that. My sleep quality was right down. I could nail an espresso and go to sleep, but I didn't know the effect it was having, and it was having an effect on the quality of my sleep. So if you drink 200 milligrams of caffeine, the half-life is 5 hours, so that means that half of it will be out of your system within 5 hours. Yeah, so it'll take 20 hours for that entire 200 milligrams of caffeine to be fully out of your system. Yeah, not there or thereabouts. That's why experts will say cut your caffeine 8 hours before bedtime, because of the half-life. Yeah, if you drink caffeinated drinks 8 hours less than 8 hours before bedtime, there is a chance it's going to impact the sleep quality. Yeah. And the sleep quality massively impacts the recovery. And that's what we're talking about, recovery. So again, if you're sluggish in the morning, check the caffeine the night before. Don't even just look at cups of coffee. Look at your cups of tea. Look at cans of Coke. Like things like that. Look at I'm talking caffeinated beverages here. I'm not just talking about coffee. Like look at the caffeine. And again, just be aware. And again, if you're saying to me, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I was that guy saying I'm fine, but I wasn't. It was affecting my sleep quality. I just didn't know it. Then I changed it all, and I realized, like, wow, yeah, it actually was. Does it help recovery? No. Does it? Bollocks. Can you get fit whilst drinking alcohol? Oh, yes, you can. I'm not telling you, I'm not saying right out of here now you're all teetotal. Yeah, you can get fit whilst drinking alcohol. Maybe not at the same time, but you can get fit whilst drinking alcohol. Can alcohol affect recovery? Massively. Massively, it affects recovery. And I mean, again, it's a no-brainer. But we got person A and person B. Person A has the dinner, has water, goes to bed. Yeah. Person B has a few drinks and a late night. Who's recovering better? Yeah. Person A. We know that. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying about just be aware. Just be aware of what's going on. If you're having a few glasses of wine on a Friday night, just be aware that your sleep quality is going down.
You only need to wear a smartwatch for it to tell you.
Yeah.
Mine goes like to 40 if I've had a drink.
Yeah.
But I get like 80, 90.
Your recovery is going down. And if you do that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, by Monday, you ain't recovered. By Tuesday, you ain't recovered. By Wednesday, you might just about be recovered. Yeah? And then you're doing it all again. So you're putting yourself into a massive sleep deficit. Yeah? And that's it. And if you're looking at, again, pulling your big boy and big girl pants on, and you're looking at it and going, why am I always tired? Why am I this? What? It is a big one to look at. Yeah, it's a big one to look at. And it's just awareness again. And you might be sat here and you might go, yeah, I don't really drink. Cool. So we know it's not that. Then tick that box off. It's not booze. Look at the caffeine. Look at the carbs. Look at the other stuff. But again, we look at that. The other thing, I didn't do a slide on it, but I mentioned it very briefly a second ago. Jet lag. I got one shift worker. Who else? Any more shift workers in the room? No. Okay. Shift workers, you can't control the jet lag. You can't control the sleep pattern. Yeah, because work's work. But for what we can control, if Monday to Friday you're going to bed at 10 and you're waking up at 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. and then at a weekend you go to bed at 1 in the morning and you're getting up at 9. By the Monday, you're still kind of jet lagged from that sleep change, because that's what shift workers go through. That's what we put ourselves in when we have boozy weekends and stuff. We're just making ourselves jet lagged. It's the same feeling as crossing time zones, because your body loves equilibrium. So the minute we start throwing around bed at this time, bed at that time, changing it all around, we can throw ourselves out and give ourselves also jet lag. So again, it's an awareness thing. Look at your sleep. Look at the timings. There's a guy called Dr. Phil Lerney, and he's really good on sleep. And he'll always say, if you're going to go out for an heavy weekend, he tells his clients to still get up at the normal time. So if they're going to bed at 2 in the morning and they normally wake up at 6, wake up at 6. Now, again, I don't know about you lot, but if I'm having an heavy weekend and I'm waking up at 6 a.m. after getting in at 2, I might still be over the limit. But he says that's what you do. So, and it makes sense because you're trying to keep that pattern. Okay, but again, it's just an awareness thing. So section 4, last section before I go into your 7-day challenge. I've got a little challenge for you, for those that want it. So section 4, body composition and performance. True or false, you need to count calories to lose fat? No. You do not. You do not need to track calories. Nobody needs to track calories, okay? Tracking is optional, all right? You don't need to do it. It works, of course it works, but you don't need to do it. It is optional, okay? What most people need is better awareness, better consistency, and better food, yeah? That's what most people need. Because again, sometimes when we go down the route of tracking calories, we end up thinking that all food is calories. And we'll go, I'm not going to choose that apple because that's 200 calories. I'm going to rather have a Mars bar instead because that's 200 calories. And we make, and some people can make poorer choices because they're just fitting it into a calorie bracket. Whereas what I want you to do is just be better, be aware, choose the better food, and just be more consistent with it. Tracking is optional. I'm not saying calories aren't important. Of course they are. And if we eat too much, we're going to put on body fat. Okay? But again, if you eat mainly a whole food diet and you're looking at the portion sizes that I'm talking about, then you won't need to track calories. Because if you're going with the recommended portion sizes, and if you're eating 3 palms of protein a meal and 3 cupped handfuls, and you go in the top end of every portion that I've told you, then the easiest thing we do there is we just remove a bit of portion. We just remove a little bit off the plate and we go to a lower end of the scale. So again, we don't need to track calories. You might find that you're making better choices with food if you don't. Yeah? But again, it's optional and it works for a lot of people. And I do advocate some of my clients to track calories, only if I know that that's what they want. But I will never say to someone, it's the best way, or you have to do it, because you really don't. For the ones out there that, again, you're non-breakfast lovers, like myself, not a big breakfast guy, there's no perfect meal schedule, okay? You don't have to eat 3 meals a day. You don't have to eat 2 meals a day. You don't have to have snacks. You could eat 2 meals, 3 meals, 4 meals, 5 meals, 6 meals. It's all about the portion sizes that I'm talking about, yeah? You don't have to have breakfast. You don't have to have tea. You can do fasting if you want, yeah? There's no perfect way. The best way is what works for you, okay? And that is it. And it's cliche and it's cheesy, but it's true. The best way is the way that works for you. So do what works for you. So let's look at the plate and let's look at what we know so far. AI, by the way, taking over the world, isn't it? So Greek yogurt, yeah. So that's our building. That's our protein, yeah. Oats. So we're looking at the fuel giver, yeah. We got fruit and berries from the fruit and veg, and then we got healthy fats from the nuts, yeah. So again, nice breakfast, got everything there. Body composition wise, if you're trying to lose a bit of body fat, maybe the portion goes down, but be aware. So the next day, if you're starving by midday, maybe the portion was too small, yeah? Comes to midday, we got protein from the chicken, we got fuel from the wrap, got a bit of avocado for the healthy fats, and we got fruit and veg, the salad, yeah? Protein, we got protein from the salmon. We've also got fats from the salmon, because again, oily fish, it's a fat source as well, but it's also a protein source, so we're getting double bubble. Fuel, potatoes, healthy fats, again from the salmon, like I said, we've got a glass of water on the side of all of these, and we got mixed veg there. It's not a recipe, it's a framework, yeah? That could be eggs, toast, berries. Eggs have got fat in as well, so I've ticked that box, and I got a glass of water. Could also be an apple, small bowl of cereal, and a protein shake. Yeah? Tick the boxes. Have I got my protein? Have I got my carbs? Have I got my fats? Have I got my water? Have I got my fruit and veg? Tick that box for every meal, you will start feeling better, I promise you. Yeah? There's a few of you in here that I know that's how you eat. But again, so conversations that I'm having at the minute with people that do eat like this that is brilliant. Now we're looking at portion sizes. Yeah? Because again, if you eat like that and you control your alcohol and you sleep good and all of that, then it will be a portion size issue. That's all it'll be. So we just, again, it's an awareness thing and we look into it. And you do the homework for yourself. You speak to us and you use our knowledge and stuff. But again, it's an awareness thing. If anyone wants that, by the way, or anyone wants any of this, I can, we're recording it and I'll put the slides up if anyone wants them. So don't worry about that. Basically, there's thousands of ways to build a good meal. I've just gone through 3 really quick ones then, Anna. But you could even do like a homemade chili with everything in it. That could be a lean mince with a protein. You could put veg in the chili. Again, a little bit of rice. Yeah. We have to find a fat sauce, but there you go. Bosh. Cheese. Some over the corner. There you go. Some water there. So again, there's ways of it. There's ways of getting it. Yeah. And again, spag bol, things like that. Normal stuff. We don't have to eat chicken and broccoli, rice and a fish cake. Yeah. We don't have to do like we can eat normal. Whatever. You know what I mean. We can do all of that. Like we can make the meals good. Yeah, just use that framework. Use them 5 things. Make sure your meals have got the 5 things, and you'll be sound with the portions that I'm advocating. Yeah. What have I put there? Looking for principles, not perfection. So the most important thing, your goal determines the direction, and your activity determines the fuel requirement. So what I mean by that is the direction that we're talking about is the portion sizes. And your goal is what dictates that. You want to lose fat, the portion sizes come down. You want to gain muscle, the portion sizes probably go up. You're training 6 times a week and you want to do an Ironman, then fuel's right up. Yeah. The beautiful is a lot of people are wearing these now. Now the calories on these, they're not exact. Yeah. But it gives you a good guide at what you're burning on a day-to-day basis. So if you run, if you bike, if you train air, if you play footy, play paddle, all that stuff, you get a good sort of, I'm on 2,100 now, this is saying, for just the day, and that's me living and walking around there. I've done 8,000 steps today, so not a lot for me. So I'm on 2,000 calories there. So I know that my portion, again, I'm not counting calories, but again, it just gives me an idea. Yeah. If I've got a day so I'm looking at going, oh yeah, I can probably my portion sizes can probably be all right today, probably need it. If I'm having a day where I'm just literally chilling, doing nothing, then I might not eat the same amount of food as I did the day before. Just need to be aware. Listen to your body. Being hungry is a good thing. Yeah? Like we can listen to our bodies and stuff like that. One may still need significantly more food, which is what I've just gone through there with the running and stuff. But I also think that's probably one of the most important messages of the entire thing. Fat loss isn't about eating as little as possible. Yeah, fat loss is not about being on a 1,000 calorie diet and eating white fish and salad leaves. Like my mate used to have I had a mate who was a bodybuilder. He used to eat white fish and iceberg lettuce 6 times a day. And that was his diet. It's not about eating as little as possible. Yeah, you're gonna be miserable. And we're not about being miserable. Like benchmark's supposed to be to facilitate your life. So I'm not gonna stand in front of you saying that you're not gonna get in the shape you want to get in unless you're eating chicken and broccoli. This stuff works. Yeah. It's just about eating appropriately for your goals and activity levels. I reckon I'm about 3 minutes over there, which for me is absolutely mint. So Amber sat there thinking she's going to be here till about 9 o'clock at night. 7-day challenge. I want you to choose one thing, okay? So you're going to either, and I'll put this on the benchmark group if you're on it, on the WhatsApp group. Is everyone on the WhatsApp group? Yeah? No? If you're not, I'll put that, you just take a picture of you, I'll do that. In fact, yeah, just take a picture of it because I'm not going to put it on the group because no one else wanted to come to this thing. So you can, know what I mean? Right. Can go on they can watch it they can have this when they watch a recording. So I want you to choose one thing, not all 8. Yeah, just one thing. So you're either going to add protein to every meal. You're going to drink 2 litres of water a day. You can do this for 7 days, by the way. Yeah, you got to be strict with this for 7 days. Okay. You're going to add protein to every meal. You're going to drink 2 litres of water a day. You're going to add fruit or veg to every meal. You're going to fuel training more consistently. So that just means that you're going to include more carbs and stuff in your training day. So you can choose one of them 4 things. Yeah. Or you can choose one of these 4 things. You're going to move my last coffee of the day earlier. Yeah? You're going to reduce alcohol on one occasion in the week. On one occasion, I'm being nice to you there. Reduce it on one occasion. You're going to prioritize an extra 30 minutes of sleep. So you're going to get in bed maybe an hour earlier so you can still fall asleep and stuff. You're going to prioritize sleep for 30 minutes, an extra 30 minutes, yeah? And you're going to pay attention to your body's feedback. So you're just going to be more aware of when are you hungry, when are you tired, when are you irritable, when are you cranky, that kind of stuff. So it's not one from every column or every category. It's just one of any of those 8 things, and do it for 7 days. And then come back to me next week when I see you in sessions or whatever, and just tell me how you feel. If you don't see me in sessions, just message me on Trainerize. Just tell me how you're feeling. Start it tomorrow. Don't wait till Monday. Yeah, start it tomorrow, and we do it for a week, okay? And see how you feel. And that's basically just doing something that I've spoke about tonight. Yeah, none of that is new. I've spoke about all of that tonight. So your final thought. I'll leave you with this before we open it out. Which team member doesn't turn up regularly in your company? Yeah, in your personal company. Do you cut carbs low? Do you drink not a lot of water? Do you not support your health and your hormones and stuff because you don't eat a lot of healthy fats? Are you like me? You're not a big veg lover. Yeah. Protein. Do you not eat a lot of protein? So what doesn't turn up for you? Think about it, and that's another thing we can work on. Remember, we're not looking for perfection. Just a little bit at a time. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to count everything. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Your body's constantly giving you feedback, and the question is the question isn't whether it's talking, there we go. The question is whether you're listening, okay? So listen to your body. It is telling you, just listen to it. 6 minutes over. I've done well there. Thank you.